A lot of people suspect that they had to put somebody up there that seemed fairly centrist and middle of the road. And I don't see him lasting more than a few months if he were to happen to win. But I agree with her. I think we're going to see a landslide with a lot of controversy in its wake, unfortunately. So hopefully not. But
with, you guys are very concerned just about Biden's health, and a lot of people have said there was even a poll that was taken where a majority of people don't believe he's going to make it through his first term. Now, Kamala Harris is his running mate. Are you guys concerned at all for a Harris?
That's what she said.
Right. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that points to anything?
I wake up and just shake my head and go, there's no way anyone could vote for them. An educated person could not vote for that ticket. And I just, instead of arguing with all my family and other people that I know that, not this family, but still a couple there, but I personally like to direct them to walk away. I think that's the best campaign, because that they can relate to those people, because they're there, they're hating everything, they're believing all the press. But I don't know if you really looked at all the news, how you would ever vote for that ticket. You look at the economy, what he did, and the report that came out yesterday about the lowest homelessness and poverty rate in the country until COVID, in quotes, hit. I don't know.
Harris polled at less than 5% during the primaries and dropped out fairly early, as I recall. So it's very surprising to me that she would have been chosen as a running mate, which is why I say there's something else going on here, another agenda to have that type of, her politics are so far left. She's the San Francisco mob, basically, that whole mob that has ruined the state of California. So hopefully the American people will wake up and understand what they are voting for.
He's got a really great, one easy line.
We support Trump because he supports us.
Right. And a young child. Oh, that's awesome to see. I love that.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned California, and there's a little bit of a controversy with Nancy Pelosi. I just want to know your guys' thoughts on the hypocrisy of Nancy going to a hair salon to get her hair done when no other salons are open. What are your thoughts on that hypocrisy coming from them that are pushing so hard for these COVID restrictions?
They are limousine liberals, and it doesn't surprise me at all, because they operate this way all the time, like Al Gore building a house on the ocean that was the shore was supposed to be underwater at that coastline like 8 years ago, and he builds a huge $8 million house. So yes, Nancy Pelosi got to go to the beauty salon. I had to wait 4 months to even get in with a mask and be isolated to get a haircut. But she's special. So anybody else want to compliment?
It's almost like there's so much hypocrisy. You just can't even believe it. So I don't even. Then there's Lori Lightfoot, is it, in Chicago, mayor, who had to get to the salon to keep up that look going. I don't know. I don't understand.
Oh, John.
John here.
So, landslide, is Trump going to turn Minnesota red this November?
If it was an honest election,
absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
Yes. And Ilhan Omar would not be there either. We could change this, turn this state around. Good honest election would turn this state around in no time. We got robbed in 2018. A lot of voter fraud.
Are you guys very concerned about the voter fraud, the push for mail-in ballots?
Yes.
Yeah.
Vote on election day.
Yeah, that's what we try to. I wish that word. In fact, I wish President Trump would say that more. I think our vote has a better chance of counting if we're on election day. Or 2 days. I don't understand why voting now has become a 3-month deal. And I don't know if we'll know who the president is unless it's a huge landslide. But it's got to be huge. Huge.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, and thank you, sir. Bring our society down.
That's not the way to do it.
You can see the line is still building.
One point play, baby.
She's got a friend that talked earlier. She said, "I live in the valley and I saw you."
Yeah. Yeah.
The press. The good press. Good. Breitbart. Yeah.
Oh,
Who is it?
Where are you guys?
Breitbart News.
Go Trump!
As you can see, I mean, the line is continuing to grow. If you're just joining us, I'm Allie J. Nikolai. We have the wonderful Matthew Purdy behind the camera. We are live here in Bemidji, Minnesota. Bright and early and nice and crisp. It is a cold September morning. We have a line here already forming for the Trump rally tonight at 7 p.m. Central. And we have very excited people. We're just walking through the line, talking to them about why they're here and why they support Trump. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, the love button, and make sure to share and follow all of our social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you so much.
Can't forget the love button. You gotta love it.
There's bigger things than life. You gotta love it, you know. Oh yeah. Trump 2020, 4 more years. Great. Hey, you're lucky. Thank you so much for joining us again this early morning, Breitbart. We are joined here with some more Trump supporters, bright and early in the cold. If you guys could just tell us why you guys are here, why do you guys support Trump so much that you're bright and early and in the cold for tonight's rally?
Oh man, he's just done a lot.
We don't agree with the Democratic Party, right?
Right.
Yeah. Second
We
Amendment.
like his support for law and order. We
Law
like his
and order.
place for the
We
police.
back the blue.
And I think he's really for the country, making it a better place.
Yes. I want what I had as a child and for my grandchildren and my children.
Now, you have the thin blue line, and we've seen a lot of violence, I mean, still going on in America's cities, but even here kind of close to home in Minneapolis. What are your guys' thoughts on that, defund the police movement and all of that?
It's
actually embarrassing. It is embarrassing.
And I know a lot of people in law enforcement, you worry about them and stuff. So, you know, got to back them 100%. Safety is a big concern. You know, kids growing up, grandkids coming up. It's important, definitely. So.
Do you guys like how Trump has handled the violence and protests?
His hands are tied. It's all run by Democrats, so he can only do what he can do.
Right.
But if he gets in office on November 4th, I think he will do what he needs to do.
What we don't like is how the Democrats have failed even to acknowledge that this is going on. And it's going on for days and days, and people are getting hurt, police are getting injured, and they say nothing.
What are your guys' thoughts on candidate Biden and his campaign? How is he doing there?
I feel sorry for him. I think he is being manipulated, and I can't believe his wife is letting people run him. I mean, use him like this. I think it's very sad.
He won't be in office. In a couple
No,
years.
no. I mean, there's somebody else that's behind everything. Absolutely.
So what are your thoughts, on Kamala Harris? Because, if he isn't able to make it through the first term, she will be president. Now, what are your concerns? Because she is seen as a little bit more left than Joe Biden, or as they try to label that.
Goodbye, America.
Yeah, she would definitely be bad.
Right.
Bad news.
Very bad news.
Being as liberal as
No.
she is in California, that's a scary.
Nobody
thing.
likes her in California, from what I heard.
Well, thank you guys so much for chatting with us. We very, very much appreciate it, and hope you guys have a curious one.
We have a live.
USA! 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 USA!
Breitbart.
What?
Breitbart?
Oh, Breitbart.
That's right. The non-fake news.
Yes.
Breitbart, smile.
Exactly.
So there you guys went. Breitbart. Oh, really? Yeah. Nice. Sweet.
Awesome. So we have some very dedicated Trump supporters. I'm going to let them say where they came from, all the way from
Kansas City.
Kansas City. And then what compelled you guys to drive all the way up here to Bemidji, Minnesota?
Well, it looks like he's going to hang out in the upper Midwest. So if you want to go to a rally and you're from Kansas City, you're going to have to drive.
It's actually the closest to us, believe it or not, like 12 hours away, the closest to us. So it's birthday next week. I'm like, hey, how about for your birthday? We run on up to, we didn't realize how far up it was. Minnesota, that's like 3 states away. Okay, we'll just run on up there. And then we looked on the map, we're like, this is like Canada, basically. Yeah, we'll just take a weekender to Canada. It's worth it, though.
Yeah. So since it's worth it, why do you guys support Trump? What are some things that really garner your support for him?
Well, we're middle class voters. And we're the people who got abandoned for years, and not just by Democrats. I mean, Republicans abandoned us too. So, it's nice to have somebody who actually cares about us. And the thing that we know, or at least I know, is that Trump actually cares. I mean, it's obvious. He's done things that have helped me. Yeah, he helped me. I'm going to stand up and help him.
Pro-life. That's why. Pro-life.
USA! 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 USA!
Yeah. And so what do you guys think of candidate Biden? How is he doing? Do you guys believe the polls that are coming out saying that he's in the lead?
I mean, it'll be what it is. I just decided I'm pot committed to Trump, and then whatever happens after the election happens. I'm not going to worry about it.
No, I don't believe any of that. Like Trafalgar polls were the closest last time, and so that's who I've been watching, and they pretty much have either dead even or Trump up in all of these swing states. So no, I don't believe it.
And nobody's told me what Biden supports yet either, so I don't know what his platforms are. I don't know what he stands for.
High taxes, abortion.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like, just he doesn't really have a platform. He has the left-wing platform. He has a Bernie Sanders platform.
He'll be whatever they tell him to be. That's
He
what
will
he
be
has.
whatever they tell him to be.
So what are your guys' thoughts on the media and just kind of how they treat, Trump versus Biden? I don't know if you watched, there was a town hall last night. Many people are.
Let's do it on the way up.
Okay. And then, Trump had his town hall as well, and just comparing the questions that each of them got. What are your thoughts on the bias there?
It works like this. Mr. Trump, why are you the devil? And then Mr. Biden, why is Mr. Trump the devil? That's pretty much that's all I need to see,
Why didn't they give him the easy questions? Because he can't answer the hard ones. I mean, they have to even give him the answers to the easy questions. Here's our easy question, and here's the answers. Now read it off the teleprompter. And half the time, he can't even do that. So yeah, it's totally not fair. But we don't care. We don't pay attention to that. So
now a lot of people are saying that. There was a poll that came out even saying that people believe that Joe Biden won't make it through the first term. And if that being the case, the running mate Kamala Harris would become president. What are your thoughts on Kamala Harris and that possibility?
that's
What do you think,
scary.
babe? You like her?
It's scary. Like, that is way radical. I'm sorry. We didn't sign up for a communist country. No, thank you. Mm-mm. No, she's like one of the most radical people in the Congress.
They're going to make president the woman that even Democrats didn't want to be president.
Right.
That's brutal. Brutal.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for chatting with us. We really very, very much appreciate it.
Sure, we'll have fun.
All right, guys, I'm going to switch the battery real quick, so don't go anywhere. Stay on the stream. You're going to see it go black for a few seconds. I'm just switching the battery. Stand by.
Awesome. Again, if you're just joining us, I'm Allie J. Nikolai. Behind the camera is the wonderful Matthew Purdy. We are live here the morning of President Trump's Bemidji, Minnesota rally, which is happening later this evening. And we already have people here. Kind of before the sun came up, we were up very early and there was already people here and ready to go. We're just going through the line, talking to some Trump supporters about why they're here so early, why they support Trump, and their thoughts on just everything that's going on in the country. So thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to like and share this video. Actually love and share this video. We also always appreciate your support for Breitbart News. So stay tuned. So we have some young Trump supporters, also very fun to talk to. If you guys could tell us where you guys are from and why you guys are here so early in the morning.
We're from Aiken, Minnesota. We're here early because obviously if you see the line's pretty long, we got to try to get on the first couple shuttles, make sure we can reserve a spot. Yeah, president.
And why do you guys support Trump so much? What are some things that he's been able to do?
He's done a lot for the country in his 4 years. It's a lot more than Biden in 47, that's for sure.
What do you guys think of Joe Biden, the candidate?
Sleepy Joe?
How that's going?
2 aneurysms. I don't even know how he's running.
So, as young people, do you guys get a lot of flack for supporting Trump?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
especially in
a
our
lot of it.
school. Yeah.
What are some stories that has happened?
Racist and
Getting called
name
racist.
calling.
Yeah,
calling.
It's out
Is
there.
it bad on social media?
Very bad.
And do you think with that, I mean, you guys are here, there are some other younger Trump supporters as well. Do you think the younger generation is warming up to more of the conservative belief?
For
You
sure,
do.
yes.
Yeah.
Especially with everything that's going on recently, the riots, protests. People are waking up. People are starting to realize.
And what are your guys' thoughts on that movement of defunding the police and all the
I
think
riots?
it's crap.
I'm actually a police officer's child, and when people say all cops are bad, it's not true. One bad apple doesn't mean you throw away the whole bag.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for giving your input. It's very, very fun to have you guys here. And I hope you guys have a great day.
They've been circling for us.
So funny is if you want to get
You got that. Why couldn't it be one-on-one anyway? I don't know why they ever said no. Anybody else?
Oh, yeah. Right. So we got a nice big bunch of Trump supporters here live with Breitbart News. If you guys could tell us why you guys are here so early and why you guys have the support for Trump that you do.
Well, number one, this is my 5th rally, so I know to get here early or you won't get in. And we support him because we love him. Simple as that. We like his policies, and I don't know.
He's fighting for my faith, my freedom, and my family, and protecting us.
And he's just like my uncle. He's not perfect. He doesn't he doesn't say all the right things, but his heart makes him do all the right stuff. That's an American. There's nobody perfect here. Anybody want to run around and it is funny how the left will say, oh my God, you guys were supposed to all be considerate of each other, and we're supposed to, understand why somebody might be whatever. But then they turn around and say he's orange and stuff. That's so petty. That's so childish. This is America, and we're all a bunch of imperfect people, and we're being led by an imperfect person. But he's been touched by God, and he's leading this country, and we know that he's doing what's best for our children, and that's America, and that's American. And we don't fall for the latest little thing that's supposed to divide us. We don't do that. We stand strong.
He's done more than 3.5 years of government than anybody else has in a lifetime of government. He can't be bought, and that's the best thing I love about him. He's a businessman before a career politician.
I
like the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Second Amendment, right.
One thing I want to say too, the Liberals candidate is about 100 miles east of here. Why don't they go over to Duluth, the protesters, and go see their candidate, instead of interfering with our rally, so I think that's terrible. And, go and endorse or go see your own candidate.
And women are for Trump. Yeah.
So with, candidate Biden going, and now I guess leaving and going out to campaign, what are your thoughts on him, on his candidacy, how that's going?
Well, he's sleeping half the time. Who knows? But he changes his tune every other day. You don't know what to believe from him. And it's so obvious. He would never make 4 years if he did get elected. It's Kamala Harris who you'd be voting for, not Joe Biden. So keep that in mind.
Biden.
And then what are your guys' thoughts on that pick for Kamala Harris?
It's an extension of the Obama administration. What they're trying to do is cover their tracks right now. They're right now, the last 8 years has been a farce. They've deceived us. They've hidden us. They've hidden all their stuff. They're trying to slide it under the table. And they know if Harris gets in as a former prosecutor, she'll know just how to slide all that right down the tubes and hide all of their corruption. That's why they appointed Harris. That's 100% why.
Now we're seeing a lot of, yeah.
We know that Black Lives Matter, and we know all lives matter, and that's they call that an insult. But we know that all Black Lives matter. But the organization has been embraced by the Democrats, and the organization wants the destruction of America. They're for the elimination of the nuclear family, no borders, no police, no prisons, abortion anytime, anywhere. I mean, they've gone crazy. Our country will disintegrate. And now the Minneapolis, good example, they vote to defund the police. They have 100 fewer policemen there now than they had before. And now they're wondering, what's the trouble?
Increase in
I mean, does it take brains or what?
It just doesn't make any sense.
But I think it's part of the liberal mindset. The liberal mindset has this idea that we are basically good, and if you have the right education and the right this and the right that, then everything will be wonderful. Well, that's not how it is. We're flawed creatures. We have things in us that are terrible, and we have to have God help us straighten that out. And Black Lives Matter is godless, and they've been embraced by the Democrats, and that's horrendous. We'll have battles in our cities. My wife is very uncomfortable, and I am too, of going to downtown Minneapolis right now. We just avoid it. How many businesses, how many conventions will not go there? How many businesses will leave? How many people will leave? I have a nephew that is in a high-rise apartment that lives right downtown, and they're trying to move, but they can't sell their place. You know,
it's a disgrace in America when you fear for your safety because of your political beliefs. You know, that's just ridiculous. We live in America. We have a right to First Amendment, free speech, and to choose the candidate of our choice without intimidation, threats, whatever. And, you know, and apparently someday, you know, it could come to a boiling head because people won't take it forever.
And CNN should be accountable for always lying about everything. And then other people that don't watch anything but that, they're getting the wrong impression.
Well, what are your thoughts, I guess, on more of that media bias? If you guys tuned into, you know, the town hall, both with Trump and last night with Biden, just some of the people that I follow are talking about the differences in the difficulty of questions between the two candidates. Just overall, what are your thoughts on the media bias with candidate Trump and candidate Biden?
It's so obvious. Anybody else want to talk? It's so obvious.
It just isn't news.
Yeah.
What we get from CNN, CNBC, NBC, ABC, CBS isn't news. And unfortunately, even PBS is tainted. Fox, there's a lot of that's biased for sure. There's no question, but they have news. They have news that gives both sides. That, you know, there's several programs that are really news oriented. But the other companies, the others are just not doing it.
So are you guys from Minnesota, or did you guys travel at all?
back to the United States of America. He is doing what he's saying he's going to do. And the Iron Range has always been left, but we're seeing more and more every day it go right and go red, and it couldn't be better.
They're embarrassed to show their colors, apparently.
One last question. If Trump does get elected for a second term, what are you guys hoping that he starts to tackle more?
You should have said when he gets reelected.
Oh, what are some areas that you really want him to tackle even more?
I want him to get the economy going again, and I want this coronavirus made up make-believe thing to go away. Let us live our lives. We got thousands of people in line here. You see any masks? I don't. I have one. Just so I